Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over a potential wildcard draft for Game Week 8. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment, are you wildcarding this week, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So starting things off, before we go over my wildcard draft for Game Week 8, just want to take a few seconds of your time to go over my thoughts on wildcarding this week and whether you should do it or not. So obviously Game Week 7 was cancelled due to the death of the Queen and everything. And so people that wildcarded in Game Week 7, that has now rolled over to Game Week 8. So yeah, that's obviously fair, because obviously if you wildcarded in Game Week 7 and all the games are off, it's a little bit unfair. So that's all good. Of course, if you made any transfers and stuff like that, that would have all still taken place. But if you haven't activated your wildcard yet and you're thinking of wildcarding for Game Week 8, I'd probably hold off just for now. We don't really have a lot of details about Game Week 8. Apparently some games are going to go ahead, but the games that are like going to be taking place in like London and etc., which is obviously where the funeral is going to be, might not happen. So the funeral is on Monday. Well, next Monday, obviously. And of course, the games this week are on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the London games on Sunday are unlikely to happen. So I wouldn't wildcard this week if you're not already on it, just simply because we don't really have a lot of information. If we get information like today or tomorrow saying, you know, all games are going ahead, then fair play, you know, Bob's your uncle, go do it. But yeah, as of right now, this is kind of just a draft if you activated your wildcard in Game Week 7, and of course you're still on it on Game Week 8 and you can't unactivate it. So either way, in goal, we do have Ward and Pope. Pope has arguably the best fixture this week. I mean, Bournemouth at home is probably the best fixture of the season, to be fair. They still don't have a manager at the time I'm recording this. And so, yeah, should be a nice, easy win for Newcastle there. Plenty of clean sheet potentials. He probably won't get many save points or anything like that, but he should hopefully lock you in 6 points. Ward is just there just in case, you know, last minute, like, let's say the Newcastle game gets cancelled or something. You'll still have Ward in there away at Tottenham, but he's still going to hopefully get you 1 point. But yeah, I just think Pope is the best keeper for the next 5 fixtures or something like that. You know, I don't know, you've got like Sanchez and stuff like that. Like Sanchez, obviously there's like the strike that was happening for Game Week 8, so their game was called off. Apparently that isn't called off now, but again, we don't know. Again, we're just in the dark about a lot of information. So as of right now, I think Pope is the best option. You know, Raya is also good, and you know, Sanchez is good if they're going to play. But either way, Pope, 5.1 mil, Bournemouth at home, then Fulham, Brentford, United, and Everton. Just some really nice fixtures coming up. The back line, we've got Dalot, James, Nico Williams, Cancelo, and Trippier. So I've actually doubled up on Newcastle defence this week, just simply because I think Trippier can haul against Bournemouth. He should be getting a clean sheet, and you know, if they do get a set piece or something like that, he could easily get an assist or even score a free kick or something. So yeah, I definitely think that Trippier has to be in like every single wild card this week. I think he could just do bits against Bournemouth at home. Cancelo's in there as well. He's got Wolves and then United, then Southampton, then of course they've got Liverpool and then Arsenal. So I think for the next 3 fixtures he should be okay. I mean, that United City game could, I mean, you never know with the Manchester derby, but you know, Wolves and Southampton sandwiched between those fixtures are quite nice. And Cancelo, you know, he's always potentially able to haul. So yeah, Cancelo's still there. I've got Nico Williams as well, basically just bench fodder, but you know, if you do need to play him, they've got some nice fixtures coming up. They've got Fulham, Leicester, Villa, Wolves, and Brighton. I know that Forest are terrible at the back. I'm a Forest fan, you know, you tell me about that. But either way, all of these teams that they're playing, like Fulham, fair play, but like Leicester have been awful, Villa have been awful, Wolves haven't been too good going forward. You know, there could potentially be a clean sheet in there, even if it's just like a 0-0 or something. He did pick up an assist in the last game as well with the penalty, but yeah, he's basically just bench fodder there, and he's only 4.1 mil. You could also go for Fafana as well if you wanted to. Fafana is only 4.4. Again, we don't know how Chelsea are going to line up under Graham Potter. Of course, it's now been confirmed that he is going to be taking Chelsea. So, yeah, if Fafana is, you know, going to be playing every game, then fair play is only 4.4 at the minute. But yeah, again, we need a little bit more information for that. So as of right now, I've gone Williams, but you know, it could be Fafana if you wanted to. We do have James as well. Now, the Liverpool-Chelsea game is the one that a lot of people are thinking is going to be called off this week. And if that is the case, then of course, you know, you will have to change your wildcard draft. I feel like if there's only like 3 games going ahead this week, everyone should probably just get a free hit, but that's not going to happen because, you know, people will be playing their free hit. But again, it's like you wouldn't really be playing your free hit this week. It's nobody's fault. But I feel like everyone should just get a free hit this week. But yeah, we've got James at home in Liverpool. He's on the draft at the moment, but again, could change if that game doesn't go ahead. And then we've also got Dallo as well, Leeds at home. City game isn't great, but you know, that week you can easily just play I don't know, Nico Williams if you wanted to. Then they've got Everton, Newcastle, Tottenham. Again, he's basically there just for bench fodder, but he is capable of hauling as well. So that's the back line. Of course, there's no Trent. The reason for that is just simply because they've got terrible fixtures coming up. Liverpool just don't look that good at the moment. In fact, what are their fixtures coming up? They've got Chelsea this week, then they've got Brighton, then they've got Arsenal, then they've got City, and then they've got West Ham. So Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal, City, and then West Ham. That's not great. Like, I don't think you necessarily need any Liverpool players for the next 5 fixtures, and especially Trent as well, who of course got like subbed in the last, like, where he got subbed on like the 58th minute, so he didn't get his clean sheet. Was terrible in that Champions League game. He like had an awful game. It was an absolute statue at the back, so I wouldn't be surprised if Klopp did drop him, because he just needs, I don't know, he needs to kind of get back into it. But either way, that is the back line there. The midfield is Martinelli, Reed, Sterling, Bowen, and Andreas Pereira. So Martinelli, already gone over how good I feel like he is at that value, like 6.2 mil, really good player to have. I've gone Sterling as well. Liverpool, I don't know, he used to play for Liverpool, could, you know, nab a goal and rub it in their face. But yeah, basically just for the fixtures coming up, the Crystal Palace, Wolves, Villa, Brentford, just some nice fixtures coming up for Chelsea assets. And again, don't know how Chelsea are going to set up under Graham Potter. Hopefully we get a little bit more information about that, but again, yeah, that game could be called off, so if that's the case, you could downgrade him. Bowen as well, I think, is a player that's going under the radar quite a bit. He's got Everton, Wolves, Fulham, Southampton, and I think he's also capable of scoring against Liverpool with how bad they have been lately. But not only that, he seems to be on penalties now. He did take a penalty in the week where I think it was like Rice was on the pitch, Antonio was on the pitch, like all of the penalty takers that West Ham have had in the past were on the pitch, and Bowen took it. He's 8.1 mil, really nice fixtures coming up. We saw how good he was last season as well, so those 4 fixtures there, I think, is definitely the time where he could come back into form and hopefully haul a little bit as well. And again, the penalties as well seems to be on those, because again, all the big penalty takers were on the pitch, and he took it, absolutely blazed it into the goals. So yeah, I think Bowen is a nice option. You could also go Maddison as well if you wanted to. Maddison, I personally don't like the idea of going Maddison just because Leicester are abysmal at the moment. But after the Tottenham game this week, they've got Forest, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Leeds, which are some really nice fixtures. He is obviously on set pieces and stuff like that. It's just whether you really want to go that way. Another player that I would 100% have had in my draft, you know, if I was wildcarding this week, if we get information about the Brighton Crystal Palace game, is Zaha. Just simply because after, you know, the game week 8 and game week 9, Zaha has got some really nice fixtures on pens as well. So yeah, I think, you know, if it isn't going well for Bowen or something, you could easily downgrade him to Zaha around game week like 10 or something like that. And again, you could also bring Salah back in as well if you did downgrade, you know, one of the strikers that we're going to go over in a minute. So you've still got 1.4 mil in the bank on this draft, so it is still, you know, possible to move things around and stuff. But either way, that's the midfield. Up top, we have Kane, Mitrovic, and Haaland. So yeah, Kane, you know, on penalties, he is expensive, but you're kind of just bringing him in for Salah. I feel like if you don't bring in an expensive player like Kane for Salah, then there's not really much point of getting rid of Salah. Just because where are you going to put those funds? So yeah, Salah has gone out of the team for Kane. I just think at this moment in time, Kane is probably a better asset to have than Salah. They're both on penalties. I know that Salah gets more points for like goals, clean sheet bonus, stuff like that. But I don't know. Kane, he's been actually playing. He's actually had a good season so far. He's just getting obviously overshadowed by Haaland. I mean, everybody is, but either way, he's still got like 5 goals or something like that already. So yeah, I mean, just because Haaland's got 10 doesn't mean that Kane's a bad option. Obviously, Haaland's just a beast at the moment. So yeah, gone Kane as well. Mitrovic is another player that is, you know, he's one of those players that you could have somebody else there for sure. instead of Mitrovic, which I think is the best option, by the way. I think Mitrovic is the best option. He's on penalties. Got Forest, Newcastle, West Ham, Bournemouth, and then Villa. Bournemouth and Villa both at home as well, so really nice fixtures there. But if you didn't want to go Mitrovic, you could instead go for Tony, who is another player that is on penalties. I still think Mitrovic's fixtures are a little bit better because Tony has Arsenal at home this week, which again, game week 8 might not even go ahead. But if it does, he's got Arsenal, Bournemouth, which is obviously a really nice fixture, could easily hold there. And then he's got Newcastle away, Brighton at home, and then Chelsea. So not the greatest fixtures for Tony. You could also go Isaac as well for Newcastle, which of course has Bournemouth at home this week, so he could obviously hold there as well. And of course then has Fulham, Brentford, United, Everton. So yeah, if you wanted to go Isaac as well, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because I don't know, like Mitrovic against Forest, who've obviously got I think it's the worst defense in the league. Of course that is away, and then you've got Newcastle at home to Bournemouth. Newcastle at home to Bournemouth, and it's just which one you really think is gonna do better. So I think it's got to be, for me, I think it's Mitrovic, then Isaac, and then Tony. I think Mitrovic is the best option. He's a little bit cheaper as well. He's 0.1 cheaper. I think he went up in price last night, actually, because it was 6.8 last time I checked. But yeah, and then Haaland as well. I mean, you're not going to get rid of Haaland, are you? So that is the draft for Game Week 8. Again, like I said at the start of the video, I wouldn't click the button yet until we get more information, because it could be the case where we just have like 3 fixtures going ahead this week. And so if that's the case, a lot of people are going to free hit, like probably myself included. Like, we're gonna have to, otherwise we're gonna get literally no points if the players you have, like, I think Friday's games will go ahead, which is Fulham and Forest, and I think Villa play, who do Villa play? Villa play someone as well, but either way, those fixtures are going ahead. But again, the only players like people are going to have from those teams are Mitrovic, Andreas Pereira, potentially a Nico Williams, and then from the Villa game, I'm not sure. I actually don't know who Villa are playing at the moment. Let me just quickly check. They've got Southampton. So again, there's not really that many players from Southampton that people are going to have either, or from Villa. So, you know, those fixtures might go ahead, but no one's going to have those players. Saturday's fixtures, again, potentially, but then Sunday, London fixtures seem the ones that are most in doubt, even though the funeral is on Monday. But either way, we'll hopefully get some more information soon. But either way, that's going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. That's trying to 50 likes. Leave a comment. Have you activated the wildcard button this week? What transfers are you thinking of making? I'll have my team selection video tomorrow. I do have 2 free transfers now, because obviously Game Week 7 didn't go ahead. But yeah, that's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.